Welcome back. I'm here with Amanda. How are you, Amanda?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. So did you like the movie?
You know, I did like the movie.
Yeah.
I was not expecting very much because the reviews were kind of bad for the film, but it was really funny. I don't know, what did you think of it?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I thought it was really funny. It kept me interested. Yeah, I thought it was good. So Dinner for Schmucks, what is the title of that? What does that mean?
Well, I think they kind of explained it in the trailer that was just aired. Basically, we have our main character, Tim, who's played by, I'm just blanking on his name, Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd. And he works for this financial firm, and in order to get a promotion that he wants, he has to attend this dinner that they hold once a month, where everyone has to bring an idiot. And they call it the dinner for winners in order to get these people to go. And whoever brings the biggest idiot wins, you know, that particular round, and it's a way to impress his boss. So Tim's a little torn about it, but he really wants this promotion, so he does go along with it. Yeah. But the dinner does not actually happen until the end of the movie. Most of the movie is about...
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. They kept waiting. When's the dinner?
When's the dinner, right? Because it's the title. But that's one of the things I liked about the movie, that it was more about the relationship between Tim and Barry, who is the schmuck that he brings to dinner, who's played by Steve Carell. So it's more about that relationship between the two men.
Definitely, I noticed that. So that's just what we were talking about. It's less about the dinner and more about the relationship. Can you kind of describe what's going on with those guys?
Well, you know, as I was watching, I realized that it's much more like a screwball comedy, which was a very popular genre in the 30s and 40s. Films like It Happened One Night and The Philadelphia Story. And you have, usually it's a couple, a man and a woman, who are complete opposites. And they clash and they fight, and you think there's no way these two are ever going to get along. But by the end of the movie, they come together. Usually they get married, or at least there's a kiss, and it lets us know they're going to be together. But with Tim and Barry, it's different. It's two men. They're heterosexual, so they're not going to get together by the end of the movie. But it's about, they have very opposite personalities. Barry's very naive, Tim is very worldly. One has money, one doesn't. And then by the end of the movie, they kind of learn something about each other. Tim kind of becomes a nicer person. Barry gets, I think, he understands the world, I think, a little bit more than he did at the beginning. So we had this resolution. So it's a nice play, I think, on the screwball comedy for the movie. So
thank you. That's interesting. There seems to be some commentary about the current financial crisis in the U.S. And how does this film address that?
Well, so Tim works for a financial firm that preys on dying businesses. So they find businesses that are going out of business, and then basically exploits that for their own gain. And that's very similar to the predatory financial practices that led to our current financial meltdown in the United States. And so in this movie, you see a real critique of people who are only concerned about their financial gain, who like to step on people who have, you know, not as much power, not as much money for their own benefit. And throughout the movie, we have Tim, who has a great car. He has this beautiful Porsche. He has this very nice apartment with all these works of art. And then, if you notice, all these things get destroyed systematically throughout the film, and it's all caused by Barry. So there's a way for the audience to kind of enjoy the destruction of wealth, and like these people who have preyed on the working classes are kind of getting their due. It's a little harder, I think, in with the update. This is a remake because Tim is kind of a nice guy, so we don't really love seeing his stuff getting destroyed, but still it's kind of fun to see someone's really nice Porsche get, you know, the windows broken, and so there's a lot of commentary, I think, with those moments in the film on what's going on.
That's a neat thing, that kind of an underlying meaning that you might not look for if you didn't know about it. It also seems to be critical of our culture's obsession with laughing at people, and what's that about?
Well, I don't know. Are you a fan of reality television?
I do watch it.
I am also a fan.
I can't help it.
And part of the fun is you get to kind of laugh at people who are bizarre, or eccentric, and sometimes they're willing participants. You know, like I think people on the Jersey Shore know people are kind of laughing at them, but they want to be famous, they want the attention, they want to make money. But a lot of times people are just kind of victims. They're just sort of weird people, or maybe they have a mental illness, and we're still laughing at them. Same thing with like YouTube videos. You know, like the Double Rainbow guy. Did you see that video?
No, I didn't.
But there's always some, you know, strange person who's doing something weird. It gets caught, and then people share it. Like, look at this idiot. Look at this loser. Let's laugh. And so I think this movie is also kind of about our desire to do that, but it also makes us feel uncomfortable because Barry's a really nice guy, and the film humanizes him. He went through this horrible divorce. He's very committed to Tim and to helping Tim, even though he ruins his life. So the film makes you're laughing at the idiots at the dinner that happens at the end of the movie, but you feel a little uncomfortable with the fact that you're laughing at them. So it kind of makes you feel uneasy, which I like when a movie does that, when it kind of makes you question yourself a little bit. So.
Definitely, yeah, because you see that he has good intentions, and that would be something that you could kind of overlook. The film is a remake of a 1998 French film called The Dinner Game,
Yes,
right?
I believe that's the translation.
So how are these different? I had no idea it was even a remake.
Yeah, I didn't know that until I read some reviews. I haven't seen the original, but what I did read is that some of the key differences would be, so the main character is a guy named Pierre, and he's sort of across-the-board jerk. He's not sympathetic. He's very into the dinner game, whereas Tim questions whether or not he should do it. And so you can see why maybe the destruction of his property would be kind of enjoyable for the audience. Tim's, we identify, we're meant to sort of see the world through Tim's eyes. So that's a little different. And then apparently that movie is also a bit more subtle. Which I guess isn't hard because Dinner for Schmucks is not a subtle movie, right?
Definitely not.
Very stereotypical characters, very broad, and that's, I think, what some of the critique of the film was. But I think if a movie is across the board, over the top, it's okay because at least it's consistent, right? You're not supposed to really take the characters seriously.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I think those are the two big differences that I picked up on between the original and the remake.
That's neat. So my last thing I have for you is there anything viewers should look for that we haven't already talked about? I always love asking this one because I think it's so interesting.
Well, for me, the best part of the movie were the masterpieces. So Barry's, I guess the trait that's supposed to make him weird and different is that he takes dead mice and he stuffs them and then puts them in little dioramas, like he recreates Mona Lisa and The Last Supper, and he also does these little domestic scenes. And this is meant to show that he's bizarre, that he's an idiot. But really, I mean, for me, I thought they were really cool.
Yeah,
I was like, he's really talented.
Yeah.
But the film also uses them in different ways, which I thought was nice. Like Tim starts to see some images that Barry takes photos of them, and he sees that Barry has recreated his divorce. If you remember that scene where he's in a happy scene with his wife, who I guess has red hair, so there's a little mouse with red hair. And then he catches his wife in bed with his coworker, and he makes that diorama. And then at the last image is of this little mouse looking sad and looking at a picture of the mouse that's gone. And I thought that was a sweet way to kind of tell that story.
That is.
And then the end of the movie has that epilogue where you find out what's going on with all the characters, and it's done through the little mouse arrangements. So I thought that was a nice little touch to the film. But did not really make him look like an idiot, I thought. I thought they kind of failed with that.
Definitely neat.
It made him interesting. But.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I hope everyone enjoys the movie. Now you have some things to look for.